Good morning, everybody. Today is July 19th, 2026. RP Tupac, and I want everybody to drop the RP Tupacs down in the comment section and hit the like button if you're a fan of Tupac. Everybody know exactly what happened. Keefe D, he pulled up. He passed the weapon right to the dude Orlando, right in the back seat. Orlando, he aimed the weapon out the window and started firing at Tupac car. Now, once he started shooting, that's when Keefe D pulled out a second gun. He started shooting at the other window. That's when everybody who was right there, the witnesses and every single person who we knew that was involved in being a witness on the scene for what happened with Tupac, that they was going to eventually come out and say what really happened. And it's sad that Snoop Dogg had to go through this, and it's sad that Tupac family had to grieve and had to sit back and watch these people go through their lives while Tupac's life was taken from him. This is sad, man, and I really wish this never happened at all. R.I.P. Tupac. They said every single thing that happened, it all led people would get locked up. And we knew the first person to get locked up was Keefe D. But they said that by Suge Knight getting locked up, they got the big man out the way. By Suge Knight not being able to be around when everything unfolded with Diddy, it made everything different. You know, Suge Knight was the mob boss. Snoop Dogg, he didn't like Suge Knight because Suge Knight, you feel me? They said that Suge Knight, he put them hands on Snoop Dogg as far as he made Snoop Dogg, you feel me? Made him not say nothing else about what they had going on to nobody. R.I.P. Tupac, man. They bogus for what they did. Regardless of what went down, this stuff like this happen all the time. But for it to happen to Tupac and for them to find out that Keefe D was the one that actually did it, that's why they got him locked up. They said they caught the man who did it. And everybody else under that umbrella, they going down for what happened to Tupac, man. R.I.P. Tupac. Drop the R.I.P. Tupacs down in the comment section.
Charged in one of the most notorious cold case killings in modern American history. And this morning, the man known as Keefe D is breaking his silence from behind bars.
Nearly 30 years ago became one of the nation's most notorious unsolved murders.
Hey, Keith, Metro Police, come over here.
Then in 2023, a breakthrough when prosecutors charged this man with ordering the hit, the only person arrested for Shakur's murder, who now tells ABC News authorities have the wrong man.
I'm innocent. I ain't killed nobody, never did ever kill nobody. They don't have no evidence against me. Came and put me in Las Vegas.
61-year-old Dwayne Keefe D. Davis says the night of the murder, September 7, 1996, he was in Los Angeles, 300 miles from the Las Vegas intersection where Tupac Shakur was gunned down.
Keefe D, he pulled up. He was the one shooting out the window, and there was somebody shooting out the back. Now, keep in mind, regardless of who had the gun, they bogus for doing this to Tupac because Tupac ain't do nothing but tell Snoop Dogg that he don't want to have no ties in certain stuff that they had going on, because keep in mind, they were signed to the same label. They were signed to Death Row Records. He didn't want to have no parts in Snoop Dogg and Suge Knight getting into it. Now, Snoop Dogg, he blew the beef out of proportion because he was actually trying to protect himself and say that he was going to hurt Suge Knight or anybody who came back there to that side of the room where he was at on that plane. Now, keep in mind, they was leaving from doing the show. He was already supposed to hop on another flight, but he told them, man, can I bring my security on here with us? Suge Knight said, no, you can't bring nobody on here with us. You have to come by yourself. That's when everybody knew exactly what Suge Knight was on with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg ain't deserve to get treated like that, but we knew exactly the conversation that was overheard by the people that was standing around. We knew that it was going to eventually leak and get out there. This is why everything escalated to the way that it did. This sad. Hit the like button if you're a fan of Tupac. If you think that Snoop Dogg, it just was all bad.
Shakur was shot 4 times after leaving the Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas in a car driven by Marion Suge Knight, head of his label, Death Row Records.
So I jumped in my Hummer and we drove to Vegas. Suge was at home. He was standing up, but he had like a patch. His hair was wrapped up. And he came and explained to us as far as what had happened.
You can't have nobody sitting back, putting themselves in a situation, and you can't retaliate really because you're on a plane and you don't have no type of protection or weapons really to actually help you. So that escalated to where Snoop Dogg looked at Tupac some type of way, because Snoop Dogg, he knew that Tupac was still under Suge Knight's wing. And everybody know for a fact, if you a fan of Tupac, man, drop the RP Tupac down in the comment section, man. They bogus for what they did. And I would like to say, if they end up catching more than one person for what happened to Tupac, that's going to be crazy, because it took them so long to get Keefe D and to get the correct evidence to be able to convict that man, because he did it. He told them he did it. He told them he passed the gun. He said that Von Zip took half the money for the hit. Now, keep in mind, they said that P. Diddy had something to do with it. He's supposed to gave $1 million or something, but I don't know how true that is. I don't know the details deeply about what P. Diddy supposedly had did, and P. Diddy locked up right now. So I don't know too much about that situation, but I do know that they keep saying now Snoop Dogg, he conspired to do something to Suge Knight. But keep in mind, Suge Knight is a part of Tupac. They came up together like this. Suge Knight used to be MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice, you feel me, mediator. He was in the middle of everything. He the one that went over there and told him to release all that stuff and stop making music. Like, dude, it's sad, man, because it shouldn't have took this long for them to find who actually did this to Tupac. I would like to say they set that man up. They set Tupac up, and they knew that if Tupac would have been in that driver's seat of that BMW, he would have got up out of this situation, and this one never came to this, to the point where we, 28 years later, saying R.I.P. Tupac. He wasn't number 20-some years old. Now, regardless of how they look at it, when they do go to trial, they said that they're going to bring every potential witness to the stand that they need. They're going to get the security footage from the MGM, and keep in mind, right there on Koval, Flamingo, y'all already know it's cameras everywhere. Regardless of how they looked at it, they bogus for what they did to Tupac. And Tupac, he got a family too. Tupac, he got people that love him. He didn't want to get did like that, and it's wrong because one beef led to another one. Next thing you know, East Coast versus West Coast. At the end of the day, I want to know who rocking with Tupac. If you a fan of Tupac, drop the RIP Tupacs down in the comment section and hit the like button if you feel that they set him up all in one package, because they knew exactly what they did. They thought they was going to get away with it. That was the thing. Whenever you think you're going to get away with something, it always come back on you tenfold. You can't put yourself in these situations thinking that it's going to be an easy escape. Tupac, he made a way for a lot of people, a lot of rappers, a lot of singers. Tupac, he was diverse. He could sing, he could rap, and he was a person who was funny. Tupac, he did what he did. You know, he pissed a lot of people off and made people mad, but according to the evidence, it goes to show that they looking at everybody who was in Tupac's corner to see, why did this escalate to this? And this is why they broke down the full story of everything that went down, man. I want y'all to know, Gene Deal been saying for years that P. Diddy had something to do with what happened to Tupac. Nobody believed it. I don't know how true this is, of Snoop Dogg conspiring to do something to Tupac all because of the beef with Suge Knight, but I hope this ain't true, Snoop Dogg, man, because I rock with you, Snoop Dogg. At the end of the day, I want everybody to know Snoop Dogg and Tupac, they was hand in hand. They was making music together. They was doing shows together and getting money together. And then next thing you know, somebody came in between all that. Regardless of what happened, Mike Tyson already said he saw everything that went down and he saw the tension and the F from when everybody was up there in the audience of that fight. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you're a fan of Tupac. Let me know if you think that they set Tupac up. Jada Pinkett Smith, every time she looked at Diddy, all she thought about was Tupac. Keep in mind, Jada Pinkett Smith and Tupac, they was like this. They probably would have been married right now if Tupac would have never got hit up like that, man. They did Tupac dirty. They weren't supposed to never do that to no person who actually doing good and helping people, regardless of the music he made that made people upset, because he was doing a lot of dissing from the beginning before all the drill and everything even came around. Next thing you know, Tupac making Dear Mama, all type of stuff. Like, come on now, we already know Tupac songs. He got the greatest hits. Let me know if you feel that they bogus for what they did to Tupac. I'm so glad they came out with this information, because now we finna see everything unfold. And if Snoop Dogg has something to do with it, man, you bogus for what you did, man. The feds is apparently investigating Tupac murder. They mentioned Snoop Dogg name and the beef that they had going on. Now, keep in mind, Greg K, he been working on this case for years, over 20 years now. They came back 28 years later to get Keefe D. Keefe D, he was the one who kept making books and doing interviews saying what he did to Tupac. Now, Keefe D, he one of the notorious gang leaders of the Crips. We know for a fact that Tupac, he talked to Mike Tyson when he went to that game. Next thing you know, Tupac ended up getting hit up. R.I.P. Tupac. I would like to send my condolences to Tupac and his family, because his family is the ones grieving right now.
While everyone wondered who killed Tupac, Snoop blamed the man that was driving the car he got shot in that night.
The most feared figure in all of hip-hop. You put all of our lives in jeopardy like that, you don't care about Pac.
And confronted him face to face.
Come up to my room, there ain't gonna be nobody in there. Just me and you. It's either the moment you gonna kill me, and we're gonna get some clarity in this air.
But did Snoop Dogg know something was going to happen that night?
The next day, when we turned on the news, all we seen was the yellow tape, and this was all bad.
Shakur was shot 4 times after leaving the Mike Tyson boxing match in Las Vegas in a car driven by Marion Suge Knight, head of his label, Death Row Records.
So I jumped in my Hummer, and we drove to Vegas. Suge was at home. He was standing up, but he had like a patch. His hair was wrapped up. And he came and explained to us as far as what had happened.
Come on now, Greg Caden, that's the man who was working on this case for a long time, man. I would like to send my condolences out to Tupac. I would like to send my condolences out to his family, man, because they said that they not going to stop until they actually get the right people. It's so many people who knew exactly what the play was. They ain't want to say nothing, man. They ain't want to warn Tupac. And Suge Knight, he got hit up too, and he kept trying to come out and say Diddy bogus. He was the one who actually put it out there and said Diddy was the one that did this, y'all. I want y'all to know this sad, man, and it's crazy they even had to put themselves in this situation, and now it's going to take a lot for Diddy to even get out of jail from this, man. Diddy knew what he did, but we know for a fact Tupac was the greatest rapper alive. Regardless of how they put it, hit the like button if you feel that they set Tupac up. If you're a fan of Tupac, I want y'all to drop the 222s down in the comment section. Everybody know Diddy, he get down bogus, man. He get over on a lot of people, and people don't like that. You cannot put yourself in a situation thinking you could just buy your way out of everything. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're a fan of Tupac. The Fed said that as soon as Tupac left the fight, he went out to the parking garage. Now keep in mind, this is where things get real shocking and real interesting at. They said that Tupac, he looked around the parking lot. He kept telling the security that was in the car behind him, keep in mind, they weren't alone. Everybody thought that Tupac and Suge Knight was in the car alone. They wasn't. They had a couple more cars following them. Y'all saw them people in that video where they was showing Tupac walking through the parking garage. Tupac, he was already geeked up. He already knew for a fact that by them saying what they said and then dude end up swinging, you feel me? Orlando Anderson, y'all already know, dude, that's the one who supposedly waited outside until Tupac came out there, and they rode around for like 15 minutes looking for Tupac. Tupac and them, they was still trying to get themselves together while they was inside. Now, the truck that was right behind them, the dude that was driving it, he ended up saying that Snoop Dogg, Diddy, and a couple more other people had something to do with what happened to Tupac. And I want everybody to know this is coming straight from Harlem. Everybody know for a fact that Snoop Dogg, he did his thing, but how he moved strategic. Snoop Dogg ain't want no parts of Death Row after he saw how Tupac was right there when Suge Knight was doing all that stuff and saying what he said to Snoop Dogg. Now, keep in mind, the feds got all this documented and everything was recorded when they did it. They bogus for what happened to Tupac. They shouldn't have never did that to Tupac. Tupac ain't deserve to go out like that. They said that Tupac, he left the fight. He saw the car pull up, but he didn't know who was in the car because as soon as they let the windows down, that's when everybody saw the dude instantly start shooting out the window. I want y'all to know they murdered Tupac for no reason. When everybody know for a fact that Von Zip was the one who ran off with the money. So everybody who actually was the foot soldiers, Keefe D, Orlando Brown, and the rest of them who was in that white car, y'all already know that Cadillac that they keep on posting and saying that this is the getaway vehicle that they used 28 years ago when they did that to Tupac. Like at the end of the day, now keep in mind, this is when everything first ignited and everything first started going on. Keep in mind, they was cool once upon a time. He said he don't want to be cool with Biggie no more. I don't know how true that is, but Diddy, if you pulled a gun on Tupac when you was the one that actually invited him over there, you bogus for what you did. And this is why everybody's sitting back looking at it as if you're like, yeah, Diddy, he capable of giving them bread to put on somebody's head. You feel me? He did it plenty of times. Look what happened to all the other people who came before Tupac who got into it with Diddy. Now, everybody knew that Biggie Smalls, he was trying to keep it to where him and Tupac was still tight after the police ran up in their apartment and found them guns. And B.I.G., he ran out and left Tupac in there, and they end up charging Tupac with Biggie guns. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you from the streets, you already know. Hey, look, everybody kept saying that Snoop Dogg, he was bogus for doing that, but everybody already know for a fact you cannot go out there and hang with the person that the other one was into it with. Like, come on now, man. We know for a fact that they bogus for what they did, but the way that they did it was sloppy. Snoop Dogg said that he would have stopped everything that was going on if he would have actually been aware of what really went down. If he would have been in the vicinity and been able to give his speech on how he feel about the situation and the beef between the East Coast and the West Coast, then things would have went a whole totally different way. But Snoop Dogg, they got him now. It's over with. I want y'all to know. They said that they got the evidence linking them back to what happened at that fight. I want y'all to know this sad, man, because it was a whole fight that they had inside of that building. The dude ran up. Tupac, he instantly hit the dude. So everybody started stumping him out. Once they started stumping him out, that's when everybody said that, oh man, Tupac, you feel me? He on one. He on a rampage. He started walking through the hotel right there by the casino tables. He started walking through the lanes. Everybody started following him. They started crowding the whole section. They said they got rowdy up in there before they even left out. As soon as they went out, they got they thoughts together. They said, okay, we going to go to Suge Knight Club and do what we got to do. But we going to make sure y'all follow us. Why didn't they stop what was going on? If Tupac would have instantly had his own car or been in a disguise car instead of in a car with his windows down. It was see-through. You could see right through the windows. Like at the end of the day, they should have tinted windows or something, presidential tint, so that Tupac can instantly be behind 5%, so that he wouldn't even get spotted. Once they said, "There go Tupac right there," that's when Keefe D and them instantly they pulled up. Ain't no telling if Keefe D and them already followed them from the parking lot. Because keep in mind, Keefe D wasn't inside the place. Keefe D, he already knew that they was fighting because he was inside that Cadillac. This is coming straight from the feds, y'all. And this is sad, man, because Keefe D, he tried to act like he ain't had nothing to do with it, but he was waiting in the car the whole time. As soon as his people came out, Orlando, he instantly told them, like, "Hey, Keith, man, we need to follow them. We need to see where Tupac at." And this is how they knew exactly where to catch Tupac at. They didn't want to do it right there in the parking lot of the casino because they would have really been on camera. Y'all already know. They knew it wasn't no cameras back then, but now it's camera nowadays. You can't do that type of stuff because you're going to get caught. But they said that as soon as Tupac and them left out, that's when Keefe D and them, they was in the car, they was driving. Keefe D the one that told the dude, "Make a left. Turn right there. As soon as you see them go right there, I want you to grab it." You feel me? I want you to grab it, and I want you to aim it out the window and start shooting. Keefe D, he provoked the dude that was in the car to start shooting with him so he won't be the only one shooting. It's a sad situation that it had to happen, but Keefe D knew exactly what he was doing, but he was mad that he didn't get that money, and he felt like he been played. You see what happened to Biggie? Come on now, man. Ain't no telling if Keefe D knew like that they was gonna plot on Biggie next. And for them to even say that Tupac, he wanted to be on death row and he wanted to be the one making all the good songs and making the money, but everybody else wanted to see him like fall down, get in a whole nother like different situation, like as far as him beefing with Diddy and all that. But then look what it ended up coming to, man. They end up hitting up Tupac after he already got set up in that hallway. They knew that once Biggie started dissing Tupac, something was going to happen to him. And everybody kept saying Gene Deal was right there the whole time. He knew exactly what was going on. He heard every word that they kept saying. When they instantly went out there and said that Diddy, he feel that he finna, you know what I'm saying? He finna get rid of both of them. Once they said that, that's when the feds, they started investigating Tupac murder. Then they instantly went out there and investigated what happened with B.I.G. They put two and two together and they said Keefe D, he had something to do with it. He was in both places at the same time. He was in the same vicinity as the same people who just got hit up. I want y'all to know, man, that's sad what they did to Tupac, man. It's sad what they did to Biggie, but we all can really sit back and look at the key facts in this, man, and really understand that they wanted to do what they, you feel me, do what they did, but they ended up putting out the footage showing Tupac at the Mike Tyson fight. If they would have never instantly showed that, we would have never knew that Orlando Brown and the rest of them was standing out there, you feel me, trying to start something with Tupac. Tupac ain't in the wrong. They in the wrong for what they did. They put themselves out there like that. They signed NDAs. By him making them sign NDAs, it messed up everything because they can't speak. They can't even tell what they saw.
But an NDA, when it comes to illegal actions, holds no weight. If someone is out here committing and you have a signed NDA under them, it don't matter. You will be held accountable for not reporting. So that's not an excuse or a way out for any of these people at the end of the day. If they knew that he was sitting here trafficking of any type and they didn't say nothing, they are guilty by association.
It's an accomplice. It's like you accomplished to all this because you sat right there and saw like the security guard. The security guards was the one intimidating people. A lot of people knew for a fact the way that he had Wale on the balcony, we already knew for a fact that whatever Wale didn't do, Diddy sent them security guard right after him. That's why everybody who went to them parties, a lot of their names is on that list. And